guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. So it's been about 3 weeks since I made a video now, and for you guys it's been 2 weeks since I uploaded, and I do apologize if I do sound a bit awkward or shy in front of a camera because I don't think I'll ever get used to talking in front of a camera. But anyway, today's video is going to be a manga wrap up for the month of April and a bit of March. And yeah, the month of April, not gonna lie, it has been one of my most overwhelming and stressed months I've been through in a while. And yeah, your gal has just got a lot on her plate. I don't know why I'm talking in third person, but yeah, I was just going through a lot in April, and I think April in general, I wasn't doing too well mentally either, so it was nice to have kind of like a social media break where I just focus on myself, focus on my deadlines, and just basically sort out my life because I have so many things that's going on right now. But yeah, hopefully soon it will die down and I'll get less busy so I can just enjoy all my manga and that stuff. But definitely manga has been a great stress reliever for me for this month. As you guys can see, I have read a lot of manga, and normally, you know, I tend to buy manga but read not a lot of it, and I do feel guilty of that because a lot of the time I'm too busy, and I normally struggle with reading a volume a week. So for me to read about 17 volumes within this month and a bit of March, that is crazy, you know, because I think the last time I read this much manga was back in November, and then I've just been so busy since then. I'm happy that I got to read so many of these series that I'm going to share with you all today, and hopefully my opinion or my little review, you know me, I'm very bad at explaining, will help you guys in deciding whether you want to pick any of these series up at all or invest it into your collection, because definitely a lot of these series that I've read are quite well known in the community and quite popular at the moment. I'll say they're quite hyped, yeah. So we got a bit of shoujo, and we got a bit of shonen, seinen, and josei, so another all-rounder, but I'll say more shoujo and fantasy manga. But I hope you guys enjoy. Please do take my opinion with a grain of salt. As you know, some series that I read you guys might like, some series that I don't like you guys might like, and definitely I'm looking at a series right now that I do not like at all, but I know you guys will love, or you guys already love already. But yeah, so I'm not going to go in any order. I'm just going to pick what's on top of the pile and just try my best to explain my thoughts and opinions. I think that's the one thing that I try to work on, is expressing my opinions, because I'm just very bad at verbalizing everything. I think it's easier within my own language, but English, I don't know, I always struggle in explaining things, but it's either because I'm bilingual or it's because I'm dyslexic. I have no idea. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, please give this video a like, comment, and subscribe, you know the drill, and click on the bell. And also feel free to use my affiliate links for Blackwells if you're buying manga or books, or Amazon, whether you're buying books, manga, I don't know, toys, gadgets, whatever you want to buy. Feel free to use my links down below. And recently I do have a Right Stuff affiliate link down below as well if you want to use that. Hopefully with all those affiliate links I can raise more money for you guys so I can do more giveaways. As you guys know, all the money that's earned through the affiliate links goes back to you guys through giveaways, and I hope you guys enjoyed my recent giveaway recently. I definitely had a lot of fun setting it up and that stuff. But yeah, hopefully more giveaways in the future so I can give back to you guys. Definitely it has been a very humbling and amazing experience being able to give back to you guys, and yeah, I hope you guys can continue to support this channel and enjoy my content. But yeah, let's get to it. So first off from the stack I see is Komi Can't Communicate Volume 1, and this was kindly gifted to me by Geeky Dreams from our collab with Kate Says Manga. If you haven't seen that collab already, I'll insert a card right here so you guys can check out. Definitely a very wholesome collab, and I think one of my favorite videos I've filmed on this channel so far. But yeah, so this manga series is about this girl who's called Komi, and she has social anxiety, and one of her goals is to create 100 friends. So with Komi Can't Communicate, this series is currently very well loved in the community at the moment and very hyped, and I can see where everyone is coming from, and I'm very glad that Geeky Dreams picked up this series for me, as not gonna lie, I don't think I would have ever picked up this series by myself at all. And I think you guys probably would have noticed in my manga shopping with me video at Forbidden Planet where I did pick up this volume, and I did mention that I didn't really like the comedic style panels. I'll show you guys what I mean. for some reason I'm not a fan of like panels like this. Can you see, like, these are rectangles? So one of my concern were the rectangle panels, which is normally seen in comedies. I think I'm just not a fan of it because it's just not as pleasing to look at for myself. A manga series doesn't have to be like super plot heavy or anything, but the panels, like the layout, just affect my enjoyment for some reason. However, Komi Can't Communicate really surprised me, as I really enjoyed it, even though the way the layout is like. One thing that I was concerned about that made me didn't want to pick up the series was that there's a lot of chapters, if you guys can see. So a lot of the time with comedy type of mangas, there are lots of like episodes that normally implies that the story will be scattered. However, Komi Can't Communicate really caught me off by surprise, as the story flowed really well and it wasn't scattered at all. And definitely it taught me don't judge a book by its cover, and I really enjoyed this series. It's just a very sweet read. It's not very like plot heavy, it's very light, and I can see myself turning to this manga when I'm just feeling a bit down and I need to pick me up. With this series, I thoroughly enjoyed reading it. I even read it in the sun as well, which I actually, guys, wasn't safe to read. But yeah, I really enjoyed this series that I can't wait to pick more of the volumes up. But yeah, I think this is a very simple read, nothing too heavy. With Komi Can't Communicate, I feel like this series has something about it that makes me like intrigued to want for more. So I really can't wait to get more volumes of this series, and I feel like it's worth the investment. Like currently I have 30 ongoing manga series in my collection right now that I'm committed to. So adding this, I feel like it won't be too much of a big harm, but it might be. Actually, it's gonna hurt the bank, but it is what it is. But yeah, I can't wait to go to Forbidden Planet next time, as I haven't left my house like ever since the UK lockdown has eased. I still haven't left the house yet, so I'm really excited for the next time I just leave my house and go to Forbidden Planet, because I have a huge manga shopping list right now that I want to pick up. Like a lot of you guys know, I want to pick up Goodnight Punpun, so that series is on the top of my list. So hopefully Forbidden Planet has it in stock, or I'll be bare sad if I go there and I don't see Goodnight Punpun and like Komi Can't Communicate and that stuff. But yeah, so this volume and this series in general, I can see it having a lot of potential, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'll rate this a solid 8 out of 10. Yeah, I think I'm gonna rate all these series, so it will help some of you guys. But yeah, I'll rate this series a solid 8 out of 10. Really enjoyed it. So another series that I recently read and I thoroughly enjoyed as well is My Boy, and this volume was kindly gifted to me by Manga Luna, which I'll insert her Instagram and YouTube down below. But yeah, I haven't heard anyone talk about this series at all other than Manga Luna, and recently I have seen Elite Collector pick up this series, I think, in his haul, which is awesome. This series is published by Vertical, and I think the retail price goes for £10.99, which is quite expensive. But yeah, this series I really enjoyed. At first I was hesitant with starting this series, as let me read the blurb for you guys so you know what I mean. So with the blurb, Satako Tawada, a 30-year-old office worker at a sporting goods company, encounters Mashu Hayami, a 12-year-old boy playing soccer in a park at night. She was treated cruelly by a former lover. He is dealing with a high-handed and uninvolved family. Both are burdened with loneliness, and they sense that the other has something that they're searching for. Not gonna lie, from the blurb, it confuses me because I've read the series already, and just reading that I'm like, huh? But yeah, long story short, is about this 30-year-old woman who has a lot of baggage from her previous relationship, that it affects her like choices, her life choices. You know, I feel like every adult, not even an adult, like everyone has baggage, and sometimes everyone needs healing, you know, when it comes to their own things that they have to deal with. And definitely this 30-year-old woman is a very hurt woman that needs a lot of healing. On the other hand of the story, the other main character is this boy who is 12 years old, and he's called Mashu Hayami, and he is a very neglected child in his family, and it's just very sad. So both of them have a lot of things that they have to go through in their life, and they're both basically filling their void with each other. And I don't think I'm the best person at explaining this, not gonna lie, but when I first heard this, Manga Luna did tell me that it was an age gap, and at first, you know, I'm not very fond with age gaps. However, I've been recently enjoying some age gap series, so I might have to scrap that. But this one, I didn't know the age gap was a 30-year-old woman and a 12-year-old boy. And once I heard 12-year-old boy, it sounded very concerning, you know. I don't want to catch a case from a manga series, you know. But personally, I don't see this series being romantic. How I see this series is a 30-year-old woman who has a lot of baggage and is willing to help this neglected child to just grow up in a better environment, you know. And so I see this series more of a parental love type of thing and more of a very wholesome series that dwells into deep things, because if you think of it, every adult has baggage, like I mentioned earlier. To think of a child being neglected by both of his parents, I don't know, it just makes me so sad when I think of it, you know. And you can tell at the beginning of the series, you can tell the woman goes out her way to make sure the child is well looked after. But yeah, I definitely don't see this series being romantic at all, so I wouldn't even mention the age gap. But I feel like this series is very wholesome, and let me show you guys some pages. It's very beautiful. But yeah, this volume is quite small. If I compare it to, actually, let's okay, it's the same size as a normal volume, I would say, but it does feel a lot thinner. But I'll show you guys some pages, as the artwork is very stunning in my opinion. Definitely like art styles like this. But yeah, I'm very sorry my explanations aren't that good. However, I can tell you this series is very wholesome, and it did make me feel a certain way that I wanted to pick more of the volumes up, which I have done. So yeah, this series, like I said, it is published by Vertical, so it is a tad expensive. No, it's not a tad, it's actually quite expensive for what it is. It is, I think, did I say it was like £9.99 or £10.99? So I have picked up the other volumes from eBay and Forbidden Planet. On Forbidden Planet, I think the online website, it had volume 4 for I think £4.99, and I only had to pay £1 shipping. And then the other 2 volumes that I bought from eBay, they were like £7.99. So not super cheap, but is better than paying retail price. So just a heads up if you do plan on reading this series. But yeah, definitely a nice series to have in my collection, I feel like, to just diversify my selection of manga. But I'm really enjoying this series so far, and yeah, I can't wait to see more about it. But like I said, I don't think I'm the best person at explaining this series, and I don't think I'm selling this series enough. But I give this a solid 8 out of 10 as well. So if you guys are planning to read a series that is kind of deep, a bit of wholesome, and makes you feel a certain way, yeah, I recommend this series. And I think Manga Luna would be very happy to see more people pick up the series. But yeah, I really enjoyed this, and big thanks to Manga Luna for introducing me this series, because like I said, I don't think I would have picked the series up. So the next series I read recently is Fire Force. So this series, would you count it as a fantasy genre? I'll say it's a fantasy sci-fi genre. So this series is published by Kodansha, and this was kindly gifted to me by Geeky Dreams as well from our collab. And I actually really enjoyed this series, and I think this series does have an anime as well. I'll insert the anime like trailer if I can find it, but I'll show you guys some pages of what this series is. So like I said, I'm very bad at explaining, but I'll try my best to explain what this series is about. So this is the main guy character who is called Shinra, and he has the power to set his feet on fire, okay? So in this world of Fire Force, it's kind of like Tokyo, but not like Tokyo. You know, it is a different world of the Tokyo that we have on Earth here. Look at me, I'm so bad at explaining. So in the world of Fire Force, the city of Tokyo is plagued by a deadly phenomenon, spontaneous human combustion. So basically random people in Tokyo are being set on fire, and normally they are from like dead spirits that needs to be put at peace. So there needs to be a team of Fire Force that have been like passed down with generations of these powers, where they can exorcism. Oh, I can't say that word. You know what I'm saying? Like, just make sure the dead is put at peace. That's what they're trying to do. And with Shinra, he has a sad past where his mother and his younger brother was set on fire and he got the blame for it, and from that both of his family members did pass away through that incident. But yeah, Shinra is basically trying to solve the problem that happened 12 years ago when his mother and his younger brother got set on fire, because he knew it wasn't him that set them both on fire, it was someone else. So he's trying to find that person. I'm really intrigued how this series is going. Definitely the art style is very interesting as well, and yeah, I'm not very used to reading a Kodansha volume being this small, as a lot of the newer volumes are this big, if you guys can see. So yeah, this series is currently retailing for I think £9.99, which is quite dear in my opinion. So I think I will continue to collect this series and pick it up when the volumes do go a bit cheaper. Recently I did pick up quite a few volumes on Blackwell's of Fire Force, and I think I paid around like £5.60 or something like that, which is a good price I think, because since the retail price is £9.99, I don't think I can afford that, you know, especially this series is quite ongoing at the moment. But I'll rate this series a 7 out of 10. But yeah, let me know down below if you have read Fire Force, or if you haven't, or if you're interested in reading this series. This series is, yeah, I see what the hype is about with this series, but at the same time I don't think it's worth £9.99. So I will be slowly picking up this series and adding it to my collection, but like I said, slowly, so very slowly, since the price is quite expensive. But yeah, that is my opinion for Fire Force. So the next series I recently read and I'm excited to mention is Blue Period, and this series is also published by Kodansha and it is a thickum. I absolutely love this series. I think it's currently very hyped within the community as well, and this volume was kindly gifted to me by Simi. I'll insert her Instagram and YouTube down below as well. She has a very sweet YouTube channel where she basically vlogs and shows off her art. But yeah, she's such a sweet gal. Thank you so much for recommending me this series and picking this up for me. Like, this series is one of Simi's favorites as well, and to me, I say this is a current favourite of mine that I read recently and I really enjoy it. And recently there has been announcement of the anime as well, so I insert the trailer right here of the anime, and I think it's coming out in October or November. But anyway, long story short, if you guys can see from the cover, it looks like it's about painting. Yes, it is about painting. So this is what the volume looks like, and the art style in this series is absolutely stunning. But yeah, I'm gonna read some of the blurb for you guys so you guys can have a gist of what the series is about. But still life. Yatora is the perfect high school student with good grades and lots of friends. It's an effortless performance and ultimately a dull one. But he wanders into the art room one day and a lone painting captures his eye, awakening him to a kind of a beauty he never knew. Compelled and consumed, he dives in headfirst, and he's about to learn how savage and unforgiving art can be. So this series centers around this main guy who's seen like a delinquent, as he has lots of piercings and that stuff, and he has a quite unique look. But yeah, so this boy, he's really good at his studies. He's like an A student, you know, because he does try, not that he's a genius or anything like that, is because he does work hard. However, with this series, I like how it questions his purpose, as I feel like as a teenager you can get confused of what your future is like, because I remember I used to be so lost in what I wanted to do with my career and that stuff. And also as a teenager I used to be conflicted with my passions and what is my purpose of doing everything, you know, what is the purpose of going into education, then going to university. I used to think a lot and deep a lot of those thoughts and I feel like this series does dwell on those type of questions really well, and I think that's why I really enjoyed it. I think this series is a very wholesome series of someone finding their passion. When it comes to passion, I think that is something very important for everyone to have, and I definitely been on the same boat where I used to be confused in what I wanted and just not knowing what I was passionate about. So finding manga has been like, how do I say it? It's like taking this burden off my shoulders that I've been trying to question for a very long time, because I remember I used to question, what am I even passionate about? Like, what even am I good at? Like, what do I even like other than sleeping, you know? And it made me kind of depressed, you know, when I was younger, where I was like, I don't have a skill that I can specify in. I'm just going into education and university for the sake of going into it. And it made me a bit sad, you know, for not having something that I was passionate when I was younger. But anyway, this series is a beautiful one. But yeah, I highly recommend anyone to read this series. It's just so wholesome. It's about painting. Like, I have no idea what painting is like, but I'm learning about new things. I like that. And this series definitely did make me feel a certain way after reading it, that I will be collecting more of this series. And I think this series is quite new since there's only volume 1 and 2 out at the moment. I think volume 3 is out on pre-order. So yeah, it's quite new. But I really like this series, and I think more people should read it. It is very wholesome, but hopefully I'm doing this series justice with my explanations. But I rate this a solid 8.5 out of 10. Yeah. I would rate it 9, but then there's so many series. Like, how I rate series, I rate it by personal enjoyment. I don't rate it by, oh yeah, artwork on point, plot on point. It has to make me feel a certain way, then I'll give my overall rating, you know. There are some series that I have read that has been a complete game changer and have changed my perspectives on life, and that's one I give it a 10 out of 10, where it literally felt like it changed how I felt, or it just made me super happy. And I feel like it's important in like investing in series that makes you happy, as at the end of the day you're spending your money, right? And going on the topic about investment, I think this has been a topic in the community recently where people have been asking, is manga a great investment? Overall, I will say no, it doesn't give you much returns unless you're like reselling out of print manga. But who wants to pay like ridiculous prices for out of print manga? I don't think that's worth it at all. At the end of the day, it is a book, unless you're a collector and that stuff. Like, even as a collector myself, I have spent ridiculous amount of money on manga. However, those were investments to my happiness, not because of investment in general that I'm expecting for it to be having a return. Like all of you know manga is an investment to my happiness, so I'm happy to spend X amount of money on manga. However, do I expect a return from it? No. Like, as a collector, I just enjoy having it. Just having the book in my hands just make me happy, and the quality of the series is just beautiful. But yeah, definitely I love when a series does change my perspectives on things and just open up my eyes a bit more. I know that sounds weird, I'm very bad at explaining, but I hope you guys understand me. But yeah, this is a great series. 8.5 out of 10. So the next series I like to talk about that I read recently is Shortcake Cake, and this is by the author or mangaka Sue Morishita. So at first with Shortcake Cake, I wasn't planning on picking up this series at all or adding it to my collection. I only picked it up because I was missing a volume to take advantage of the 3 for 2 at Forbidden Planet. But yeah, this was a volume that was a spontaneous pickup, I would say. But I know quite a few people do like the series, like Marguerite's manga. And also I feel like Sue Morishita, like her works are just stunning. Another series that I read recently that I will talk about later is A Sign of Affection, which is another series that I really love. But yeah, this is Shortcake Cake. This series features this girl who's called Ten, who is the main girl character, and I believe she used to live in like rural area, like a village, where she needed to commute to school, and in the end she opted in to live in a boarding house, and that's where she starts building like friendships and relationships. And it's just an interesting and sweet read. I won't say it's like a wow manga. It's just a nice fluffy shoujo. So if you're looking for like a boarding house type of manga, kind of like Living Room Matsunaga-san, I definitely recommend this. But I feel like this is more younger compared to Living Room Matsunaga-san, as Living Room Matsunaga-san, it features more of adults and this is more high school like. So yeah, that is Shortcake Cake by Sue Morishita. I'm excited to read the other volumes, as I can see it having like scenes that my heart might skip a beat, so I'm intrigued for that. But yeah, this is definitely a light-hearted read, something to pick me up, I guess. So I think I'll rate this a 7 out of 10. Another series that I read recently is Prince Freya, and I think you can hear from my sigh, but if you guys follow me on Instagram already, you guys already know my opinion of this series, and all I can say is, me not a fan. Yeah, like, you can hear my disappointment. This series, I haven't felt like this in a while, where I pick up a series and felt disappointed straight away, and also it made me feel guilty. And you know me, like I said, manga is an investment to my happiness. So when I invest in a manga, I expect to make me feel some sort of way that I feel like, oh, you're worth buying. But this series, yeah, it made me, I don't want to go too extreme, but it did make me angry, not gonna lie, because I picked up this series expecting it to be somewhat good. However, it just didn't match my expectations. The thing is, I didn't even have a lot of expectations of this series. With Prince Freya, this series has been quite hyped in the community, and this has been compared quite a lot to Yona of the Dawn, and I have to disagree. Like, I don't see this being like Yona of the Dawn at all. Maybe I need to reread, but how I feel about this series, I'm definitely going to unhaul. So I don't know if I should resell this series or give it to one of you guys if you want to read Prince Freya, or just, yeah, like I don't know what to do with the series. I do have 3 volumes of it, and I have read volume 2. However, I haven't finished it. So the thing is, I read volume 1 in one go and I already had an opinion of it. Then I was like, nah, let me just give it a chance and just read volume 2. Read volume 2, halfway through, just dropped it. For me, I just couldn't read more for some reason, and a lot of people did say that this series does get a lot better from volume 4 onwards, and to me, I don't want to pick up so many volumes for me to get interested into a series, and a lot of the time, if I'm not interested in it straight away, that means, yeah, your gal has given up on it. But maybe I should reread it. If not, yeah, I'm gonna just either resell this series or give it to one of you guys if you guys want this series. But I'll show you guys some of the pages. Like, the art style is decent, but the plot is just mediocre, you know. And what made me kind of like upset about this series is that it's so emotionally unintelligent. What I mean by that, within volume 1 there was death happening left, right and center, and no one grieved, no one did anything. Like, they just happened, like, oh, it is what it is. And I don't like that. I don't like when like stories play with death like that, you know. Like, at least give the characters some like grieving, like it's like everyone's like, oh yeah, it is what it is. And I just don't like that attitude. I don't know, like, for me it just made me upset about that. I don't know, probably I'm thinking too personal. But yeah, and also I didn't really like the main girl character. I find her a bit too wimpy, like just not my vibe, you know. It just made me kind of annoyed when I was reading it. I was like, come on, pull yourself together. And also I have mentioned this in my haul when I first picked up the series as well. People did mention that they didn't understand how Freya got into the castle, and when I was reading it I didn't understand it too, and it just seemed like the plot was very wishy-washy and I just couldn't get sucked into the plot, you know. I just couldn't get sucked in. I had no interest. That's all I can say. And I feel like I'm being very mean about this series, but I know there is a lot of love for this series, and I'm happy to give this away to someone that can actually like enjoy this series and give the love that it deserves. But unfortunately for me, yeah, this upsetted me on another level, because it's just, I thought literally the first thing that came into my head was, fuck, like, I just wasted my money on this series. Like, you know that big sigh? That's how I felt about this series. I was expecting to enjoy it, you know. Like, I actually gave it a chance and went on to volume 2, but I just couldn't get into the story, and it's just, yeah, it's not a series that I'm into, unfortunately. But it is a historical manga and political manga, and yeah, I still can't see how people are comparing it to Yona the Dawn. But maybe I need to read more of Yona the Dawn and be like, yeah, it sounds similar. But personally for me, they're too different. I cannot even put this on Yona the Dawn level. This series, I'm not trying to say it's horrible or bad. It's just mediocre, you know. And it's not something that I'm willing to invest and spend more time to read and that stuff. I'll give this a 5 out of 10. So the next series I read recently as well is Perfect World Volume 5. You know how I feel about this series. This series deals with a relationship that one partner has a disability and how they both make the relationship work. But yeah, Volume 5 specifically I really enjoyed, as it focused on another relationship where that relationship also dealt with one person having a disability and how they worked on that. But yeah, like I've mentioned in the past with this series, there is like stereotypical plot twist, so there is a bit of drama, you know. And I feel like sometimes the drama is is either necessary or it's just like, oh, you just roll your eyes. And definitely with the two main characters, there has been parts where I have rolled my eyes, but I still enjoy the series. This is a josei series that I'm invested in, and I will be continuing to collect this series. With this series, I don't know what it is, but every time a new volume comes out, I read it straight away. This series definitely is a bittersweet one, so it does play with your feelings. Even if it's a typical plot twist, you're kind of like, oh, this sucks, you know? But you're waiting for the next volume for it to get better, and you're like, when is it gonna get better? When is it gonna get better? And you just want both of the main characters to just have a beautiful like life together, and you're just like, when will they have a beautiful life with all these plot twists? But anyway, I think I'm kind of spoiling the manga a bit, but yeah, I really love the art style of this series, and it's such a bittersweet manga. And yeah, there has been things that has happened in this volume that made me a bit like, really? But anyway, I'm still very invested in the series, and yeah, can't wait for volume 6 to come out. And I just love how premium this volume feels. I think all the Kodansha volumes, like the big ones, are really nice. With this series, it has changed a bit of my perspectives on things, and it has made me more aware on certain things as well, especially relationships that deals with a partner that has a disability. But yeah, I really rate this a solid 9 out of 10. Like, I really enjoy this series. Like I said, it's bittersweet, it does hit me in my feels, and it's just a very lovely josei. So the next series I read recently is A Sign of Affection, and this is by Sue Morishita. So this art style, definitely 10 out of 10 for me. I really like the look of this, like a manga series. Like, look at the main guy. Look how gorgeous he looks. Like, oh, he's so stunning. Like, he even has a finger tattoo. Can you see right here? Like, you don't see many Japanese people having a tattoo, let alone a finger tattoo. Like, anyway, as you can tell from the cover, it is absolutely beautiful. I think this is one of my favorite covers I've seen on manga. It's just so aesthetically pleasing to look at. And yeah, Sue Morishita with this series, 100% right up my alley. Like, the art style is gorgeous, and if you guys know, you know I sleep on the same bed as my mum. So when I was reading this manga, she was right next to me, and I kept on saying, mom, like, look at these pages, like, look at this guy, isn't he just stunning, isn't he beautiful? Like, how did the manga draw him so beautiful? Like, how that was literally me reading this series. But yeah, this series is very light-hearted and fluffy. Definitely a series that I will turn to when I just need a pick-me-up, and definitely it will make your heart skip a beat as well with certain parts. I can see why some people won't feel like the need to invest in this series, as it is very simple, and like, yeah, there's nothing really that special in a way, but in my eyes is 100% for me. Yeah, definitely. I can't wait for more volumes to come out. Definitely a very sweet manga. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I'll say this is a solid 8 out of 10. So the next series that I'm going to talk about is a series that I'm super invested in at the moment, and that is Blue Flag. And this series is currently very hyped within the community at the moment, and I can see why. Like, look at the volumes first. Like, look how premium they look, and the art style is just beautiful. Like, the feel of it is all matte, and yeah, they're definitely a thickum. But yeah, definitely I will be picking up more volumes of this series. This will be complete at volume 8, I believe. Before I read the series, I didn't know much about the series other than it was categorized as LGBTQ+, and also that it was going to be a wholesome series. However, I definitely didn't expect how the story was going to play out. This series did feel very real, and that's what intrigued me about it. I think it does dive in topics that are very real, and I feel like if you're a teenager reading this, you can relate to this even more. At first, when I was reading the series, I definitely didn't know what to expect at all on how the series is going to go and that. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Like, I didn't know the first volume was about Taichi helping Futaba to confess her love for Toma. I literally didn't know that. I think even after reading the blurb, I still didn't clock what the series was going to be about. However, all I can say is it's very wholesome. And what I mean by wholesome, I'm not going to say like it's deep, like, oh, it's going to make you depressed and sad. Not that type of wholesome. As in, it just makes you feel like, oh, this is such a sweet series and I get what the hype is about. The thing is, this series is not complicated at all. It's a very, very simple storyline. However, the manga just does a great job in just making you intrigued and wanting for more. And yeah, this series is a very sweet manga and I'm glad I have it in my collection, and I can't wait to collect more of the series. And as you guys can see, I do not own volume 3, so you're thinking, how did I read volume 4? That is because you can read this series on the Shonen Jump app, and for anyone that doesn't want to invest in collecting manga but want to read manga, definitely check out the Shonen Jump app. It literally costs £1.99 a month, and you can read a lot of different shonen series by Viz on there as well. I won't say the selection is huge or anything, it just has a popular series on there, but I think it's worth it, you know, £1.99. But yeah, I read volume 3 on there because I just couldn't wait to like buy volume 3 and wait for it to restock, then I can read volume 4. As you can tell, like when I like a series, I tend to read a lot of it in one go. Yeah, this is a solid 9 out of 10, 100%. Definitely can't wait to pick up more volumes of this series, and I'm sad that it is a short one as it ends at volume 8. I do apologise if the lighting has changed quite a bit. As you know, my camera always dies when I film. But yeah, I didn't think I showed you guys the pages of Blue Flag actually. I kept on saying how premium it felt, but I want to show you guys the pages of the volume, as the detail it has and the art style is absolutely phenomenal. I really like the art style of the series, and just the series itself, like the plot, like I said, it's very simple, but at the same time it's just it's so sweet that it does hit you in your feels in some sort of way. And yeah, I can't wait to get more volumes of it. I'm not too sure would volume 7 be out yet. I know I've seen someone post volume 7 recently, but I haven't seen volume 7 online yet. Maybe I just need to do a bit more digging, or it just hasn't been released in the UK yet, because a lot of the time I've noticed a lot of the releases, America gets the releases first, then like a month or two after we receive it in the UK. But anyway, the next series that I recently read that I really enjoyed is Witch Hat Atelier. I nearly forgot the word. What was it again? Yeah, Witch Hat Atelier. Yeah, we'll stick with that. So this is Witch Hat Atelier, and I mentioned before reading this series, I did say it's comparable to Harry Potter and Studio Ghibli, and I still stand by that, not gonna lie. At first, before I read this series, I don't know what I was expecting. Like, you guys saw me butchering the synopsis. I tried reading this when I was filming my manga package that I received from Geeky Dreams. I proper butchered it. I think the way they writ the synopsis on the back of this volume just sounded too rhymey, and I just didn't understand what I was reading. But anyway, what I found out whilst reading about this series is that the main character is Coco. She's a normal girl, she's not a witch at all, but she is obsessed with witches and magic and spells. And one day she encounters and discovers that spells you don't have to be a witch to do magic, basically. It's interesting to see how this world perceives magic, as normally when you think of magic you think of like abracadabra and a wand and that stuff. Here they still use a wand, but when they cast spells they actually draw it, so it's very interesting. So yeah, the art style is absolutely beautiful as well. I'm gonna flick through some pages to show you all. Definitely a lot of detail as well, and I can see why this is another hype series. To me it is very fantasy. Like, I don't think I've read anything like this. Like, this series is like catered for all ages. Like, you can read this as a child as well, but me as an adult, I still enjoyed the series. It's just a very sweet read. But yeah, this series in general as a whole has caught my attention, so I have picked up the rest of the volumes from Blackwell's, as all the volumes currently are costing £7.99 on Blackwell. So feel free to use my link down below if you want to pick up some volumes of Witch Hat Atelier, as I think retail price this is for £10.99. So £7.99 is definitely a bargain, and of course if we can get less than £7.99 that would be awesome. But normally for my like big Kodansha volumes like this, I tend to pay £7.99. I rarely pay that £10.99 price mark, as it just hurts the bank too much. But yeah, this volume especially, I think out of all the manga I've showed you guys, I think Blue Flag and Witch Hat Atelier, like the feel of it is just very, very premium. And yeah, like I've mentioned, I have ordered the rest of the volumes on Blackwell's, so I'm really excited to receive them. And yeah, I'm pretty sure they're on their way to me right now, but I will be away for a few weeks since I'll be in London, so hopefully someone will pick up my package like at home and just put it in this room and that stuff, because I have so much manga on the way. And yeah, I bought some Japanese manga as well, so those better be collected because I spent coin on those manga series that I picked up from Japan. So yeah, definitely will be a big haul when I come back. And also I do have a big haul at the back as well that I've been wanting to film. To be honest, I was going to film it today, however I'm filming this wrap up, so I will have to unbox those parcels either before I leave London or when I come back, which is going to take a few weeks, so I hope you guys don't mind. Before I forget, I'm going to rate Witch Hat Atelier a solid 8 out of 10. And the reason why I say a solid 8 out of 10 is because I have ordered the rest of the volumes on Blackwell's, and normally when I read a manga, I only do that if I really like a series. If I don't like, not say if I don't like a series, if I liked a series but wasn't as invested, I will slowly pick up. And if I really like a series and feel invested in it, I will pick up as much volumes as I can. As you can see with like The Promised Neverland, that's when I pick them all up in one go, pretty much. But yeah, this is a great series. But yeah, that is Witch Hat Atelier, solid 8 out of 10. So another series that I read recently looks like is Golden Kamoy or Golden Kamoy. This is a series that I've told you guys I was sold. Sorry about that. My voice sounds a bit croaky and strange just because I've been doing this presentation assignment where I have to do this voiceover, and it's just been killing me. So just a lot of talking today. But anyway, this volume was very, very fun to read and definitely didn't disappoint at all. So you guys know my first impressions or my opinions of the series when I read the first chapter on, I think, the Viz Media website. Yeah, I think so. Where I just was sold straight away from the first chapter and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, recently I read the whole volume and I'll say, yeah, solid. This is a solid 9 out of 10. Let me show you some pages. There might be some gruesomeness, so hopefully if anything pops up, I'll just pixelate it. But yeah, this is a very interesting series that has drawn me and I have been sucked into the plot. I know this is going to be quite an ongoing series, as I think there's like 20 something volumes that's out currently, and it does have an anime, and this series is definitely worth the hype. After reading the first volume, I am going to commit to collecting the rest of the series. Yeah, this is going to be a mad one for the bank, but we'll see. But hopefully I'll be rich enough to get majority of the volumes of Golden Kamuy. I have really enjoyed this volume, but yeah, let me show you more of it and talk more about this series. So this series is more of an adventure series, you know, and I like that. So with this series Golden Kamuy, it focuses on the main guy character called Sugimoto, and he is the Russo-Japanese war veteran. Is it called Russo or Russo? Okay, I'm gonna stick with Russo, okay? Russo-Japanese war veteran, where he's in search for gold, as he just needs the money, you know? Basically, his friend tragically passed away from an incident that has happened, so he has left his wife and I think his daughter or son. But yeah, so his best mate's wife is now a widow, and he's trying to find money so he can support them financially and that. So yeah, bless his soul, right? So on his journey to find this gold that he recently heard about, which was actually stolen from the Ainu people, he actually bumped into an Ainu girl and he was like, you, me, let's work together and find this gold so you can revenge your father, and then me, I can get some money, you know, to support my friend's wife. So yeah, they're on their quest to find this gold, and yeah, I'm really bad at explaining, to be honest. If you read the synopsis on my anime list or Viz Media, I think you guys will be interested in it. But yeah, very great series, and I think once I read at least a few volumes of this series, I'll start the anime, as I have heard a lot of good things about the anime, so I can't wait, so buzzing for that. So another series that I recently read is Living Room Matsunaga-san Volume 3. So Volume 3 focuses on Miko getting a part-time job so she can save some money up to buy a gift for Matsunaga-san's birthday. So yeah, it is a very cute volume. For some reason I thought this was the festival one, but it wasn't. This volume is just Miko earning some money and just like surprising Matsunaga-san for his birthday and that stuff, and it's just so cute. This series is a definition of fluffiness and making your heart skip a beat. Yeah, for sure. There was parts in this volume that it made me like, oh, like, you know, it made me giddy and it made my heart skip a beat. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It was just so sweet. And like I said, I'm not very fond of age gaps. Like, you heard me say this a lot of the times, but man, I think I need to just scrap that, you know, because I'm really loving this series. And there is another age gap series I'm interested in as well. I think it's called After the Rain. That's the series that I've been eyeing up recently, but it costs quite a lot of money, you know. And also I recently added that series to my wish list on Amazon recently, which I have linked down in the description bar. So if you want to send me some manga, feel free to use my link down below. But oh, my voice sounds so croaky, I do apologize. But yeah, this volume is so sweet, and the reason why I enjoy this a lot more, even though Shortcake Cake I did enjoy, even that one is a boarding house like setting, I think I prefer this as it features more adults. Even though Miko is 17, I know she's 17, I still really enjoy this. But yeah, I'll show you some pages of this series. It's definitely very sweet, very fluffy. But yeah, you can tell it's fluffy because there's not a lot of like shading within the manga. That's how you know when a series is very light-hearted. If there's a lot of black and a lot of ink, that means the series is dark. But yeah, that is Living Room Matsunaga-san Volume 3. And the last series that I read recently is Requiem of the Rose King Volume 5 and Volume 6. So I don't know how much I can talk about these two volumes since it's already so far in a way into the series, and there's just so many political things that happen that I don't think I'll know how to explain. I've been reading this series very slowly as the releases are super slow at the moment, but there is an anime that's coming out this year that I'm super excited for. But yeah, so far with this series, I don't know what I can say because everything will be a spoiler, but one thing I'd like to mention is that I'm curious in how Richard would choose his life options, like whether he wants to revenge his father. Is it revenge or avenge? I think it's avenge. Yeah, whether Richard wants to avenge his father or choose a life where he will be happy. And like I've mentioned many times, like this, I do compare it a lot to Game of Thrones and that stuff, as it does have that type of vibe, you know. But yeah, that is it for Requiem of the Rose King. But let's get my stack of manga that I read recently and show you guys once more before I go. I definitely sound a lot tired, don't I? But yeah, I need to finish this video and go back on working my assignment as the deadline is tomorrow. But here it is, look at that stack. Oh my god, it looks so late. It's actually not that late right now, it's only like 7 p.m. But yeah, this is the stack of manga that I read. Oh wait, I forgot to tell you guys my rating. Okay, wait, did I tell you my rating for Golden Kamoy? Okay, Golden Kamoy, solid 9 out of 10. Requiem of the Rose King, I'll say 9 or 10 out of 10. Living Matsunaga-san, currently I'll say 9 out of 10. Yeah, it's been a nice read. But yeah, those are my ratings. I'm so sorry that I forgot. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this wrap up. Definitely not a video that I'm used to filming since I'm not very good at explaining. I normally do hauls because that's the easiest thing that I can do. I just unbox it, talk about whether I'm excited or not and that stuff. But yeah, it's hard for me to elaborate more when it comes to like explaining manga. All I can say is I enjoyed it, I'm excited, that's it. Well, I don't like it. But yeah, let me know your opinions with this wrap up video, whether I should do more in the future or maybe something that I need to continue to work on. As I said, I'm not very good at talking and that stuff, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this wrap up. I hope you guys have a great day, and yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Oh yeah, since I said I'm going to London, definitely stay tuned for a manga shopping with me in London. Hopefully that will go well, as last time when I went to Forbidden Planet, I know you guys didn't like the fisheye camera, and like it was a bit shaky and it was just all over the place and it was just loud, and that is London for you, you know. London is just loud, bare people, crowded. So wish me luck when I do film in store again, because I'm not too sure how that's gonna go, but hopefully it will go like fine, and yeah, we'll see. Let's hope that video is successful. But yeah, please stay tuned for that video, and yeah, thank you so much for continuing supporting this channel. It means a lot, and yeah, have a great day guys. Bye.